My name is Ryan Rusnak. I'm the planning director for the city of North Liberty. I handle zoning applications and things that go to the planning commission and ultimately the city council. We received a zoning application for this property. CMW Properties owns part of the land and I understand has contract for the other part. This part of the property was already in the city limits of North Liberty. The south portion of the property was recently annexed into the city, became part of the corporate limits of the city of North Liberty. And they had submitted for a rezoning from what we call ID Interim Development. That's what property is assigned when it comes into the city of North Liberty. Just allows a limited number of uses, allows agricultural uses, because that's typically what property is when it's annexed into the city. And they are requesting a C3 district, which is called our higher intensity commercial district. Allows for a mixture of residential and commercial uses, mixed use buildings, which are a mix of residential and commercial buildings in the same building or just in different buildings on the same site. This is kind of the first step in the process after we receive an application. We are required by code to have what we call a good neighbor meeting. And that's just intended to allow the applicant, and in a minute or two, I'll turn it over to the applicant. Just allows them to kind of give a presentation of what they're planning on doing and getting feedback from the surrounding property owners. And then the normal schedule would be that this would go to the planning commission on July the 5th. Calendar here. And then after that, we'd go to the city council on June 26th. That's the main public hearing. And then there's two separate readings in August 9th and August 23rd. So in order for a rezoning to be approved, it's got to be, ordinance has got to be approved by 3 separate readings by the city council. So you have an opportunity to provide public input here. You can also attend the planning commission and city council meetings and provide input there. Here is my contact information. If you want to get a hold of me and ask me questions, or you want to send me correspondence via email, that's fine. Typically, if you submit something in writing, I'll incorporate it into the record. It becomes part of the written record. So with that, I'll turn it over to the applicant. Mike, do you just want me to leave this up?
Yeah, if you want to leave that up, Ryan, that's great.
Okay. The floor is yours.
Hello, everyone. Thanks, Ryan. My name is Mike Welch, and I am representing CMW Properties, who, as Ryan said, has this property, either owns parts of it or has the rest under contract. I think Ryan did a nice job of giving an overview of where we're at in the process, and I can't stress enough that right now we're just at the first step in the process. And again, welcome any input that any of you have on what we're proposing. But as Ryan said, we're looking at that corner of North Liberty Road and South Dubuque Street, that southeast corner, looking at that C3 zoning designation, or requesting that zoning designation, which would allow that mix of multi-tenant retail and commercial. Could include a coffee shop or any kind of other restaurant space or retail space. That could be an orthodontist office, a dentist, kind of any of those typical small retail spaces and commercial spaces. We're kind of hoping to attract a C-store user on the corner if possible, and then looking at some the possibility of some multi-dwelling residential, which would be, something like a 2 to 3 or 4 story apartment building or apartment buildings, kind of on the southern half of the property, but definitely in a concept stage right now. And that's kind of where we're at. So we'll be working with Ryan and city staff on getting that concept approved if rezoning is successful. I guess the next step would be looking to work on getting those site plans approved and creating individual lots that could be developed for any of those uses that I listed above, or other uses that come up that are compatible with that C3 neighborhood. And we're excited about the the prospect of developing something across the street from the high school and feel like it's a good location to develop in North Liberty and kind of complementary to what's in the area too. So I don't know, Ryan or Joe, if either of you have anything you want to add to that, feel free.
And I think, hey, this is Ryan Wade. I'm part of the development group looking for the rezoning on this project, this corner at North Liberty Road and Dubuque Street. Mike hit it pretty well on the overlay. Just one thing I want to hit is that the uses that we're showing here are just concept and preliminary through the zoning to see what it allows. Nothing is set in stone. We haven't totally nailed down exactly what we want to do on this parcel, but we have a good idea of how we want to develop it. But everything is up for discussion. But we feel the way we have it laid out right now is a great step back from the Dubuque Street to more of a multifamily component further south on the lot. Joe, do you have anything you want to say?
No, I think you guys covered it. I'm all good there.
And I'll just chime in. So this is, as mentioned a couple of times, just the rezoning process. So they developers, property owners go through this process to see if the zoning gets approved. In this case, they would move on to the next step, which would be submittal of site plans. We call it a preliminary site plan. That goes in front of our planning commission, approved by city council. That shows what the property uses are going to be, arrangement of land and things like that. Subsequent to that, they submit detailed engineering drawings, which we call construction site plans. Those are reviewed administratively. Once they get through that process, then they can technically begin construction. So just want to lay that out there. And now I'll open the floor for questions. I think I see Aaron and Reed are probably not on the development team. So Aaron or Reed, do you have any questions or comments or concerns?
I guess I'm going to chime in. I actually got a Zoom meeting invite for a hearing I thought was going to be further up north on a property that's actually butting up against the fjords. I don't know if
that starts at 6.
That's at 6 o'clock.
Yep.
Okay. I don't have anything to add on this one.
Cool.
Okay.
I guess, Aaron, I'll ask you the same question. Maybe you're here for the other one too.
No, it's not here for the next one.
Okay. So then I will just kind of say that no one officially attended on this behalf. So I'm going to end this meeting. I'm going to leave the meeting open because we have the same link. So whoever's on is welcome to stay on. They can drop off. Or we'll just hang out until 6 o'clock. So requirement for the Good Neighbor meeting is met. So thanks. Appreciate the intro.
Thanks, Ryan.
Yep. Thanks, Ryan.
Thanks, everybody. Appreciate it.
Thanks,
guys.